Hi guys, and welcome to week 3 of our distance learning. Today's activity is going to be all about estimating, just like last week's exercises, and measuring. We're going to tie those two things together. So we're going to use our previous knowledge on estimating to help us measure today. So what the activity is going to be today is that we are going to measure some things around your house. So the first thing I want you to do is grab a paper and maybe grab a pencil or a pen or a marker or something like that. And then I want you to bring it back, and we're going to help make a chart on our paper, okay? And I'll help you through that. So you guys go off and grab your stuff, and come on right back. I've got my paper here. I use my dry erase board. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw 2 lines. Now I want you guys to take your paper, if you have paper that's like this, I want you to turn it like this, okay? So you have it lengthwise. So you have it's longer across now and not like this, okay? So your paper's like this. Once you have your paper like that, I want you to draw 2 lines, and they have to be kind of apart because you're going to need some room in there. So the first one's going to go down like this, and the second one's going to go down like this, okay? So you should divide it into 3. So you should have 3 sections, okay? The first section is going to be where you print what you're measuring and what we're going to look at. The second one is going to be your estimate. So I want you, in the second one, in the middle one, I want you to put a big E at the top. A big E, just like that. That's for estimating. Okay? And in the last one, I want you to put a big M. And the M is going to be for the measurement, because we're going to measure it after. Okay? So, your paper should look just like this, guys. Awesome. All right, now you're going to probably need Mom or Dad's help for this, or you can sound it out and try your best. It's no problem. I want you to choose something in your house, maybe not something huge, but something you can measure. And when we talk about measuring, there are 2 different things we use to measure. There's a ruler, which Mr. Dyer doesn't actually have at home. A ruler, and you guys have seen them in our class, they're those straight guys. They're about 30 centimeters long. And they're the wooden, or we have white plastic ones in our class, right? They're just skinny little rectangles, but they have all the numbers on them to help us measure. The other way you can measure is if you have a tape measure. So Mr. Dyer has a really small tape measure. You can see the numbers on there. Helps me out. Those numbers help me to measure. Now, those are standard measuring devices. What we're going to use, because you're at home, is some non-standard measuring devices. So those non-standards are going to be your hands, feet. We could use a stuffy. We could use a book. We can use anything we want as a measurement tool, because you can use anything you want as a tool. So I'm going to choose something that I'd like to measure, and I'm going to do this in a non-standard way. So you guys can put your pencils down. Don't worry. So in the first column, I'm going to pick, well, the thing that I found to measure, because it works for our video, was this cardboard tube. So I wrote the word tube in there, and that's where you'll need your Mom and Dad's help, is to print the words. We're going to choose 3 things to measure. 3. So that's Mr. Dyer's first one, and then I'm going to need 2 more. I just put lines there so that I can print on those lines. So the tube is the first one I'm going to measure. This is my tube. Now, the first thing I'm going to do before I measure it is I need to estimate. Remember that E in your column is for estimating. So I need to estimate how many hands this tube is. So I'm allowed to look. I can definitely look, and I want to come up with a good estimate. Hold my hand just like this. I think my tube is going to be 3 hands long. 3. So in my, underneath the E, and beside the word tube, I'm going to put a 3, because that is my estimate. I think it's going to be 3 hands. And I've chosen hands to measure with, guys. I should have said that. Sorry. I chose my hands to do my non-standard measuring with. You can choose anything you like. You can choose a book, your hands, feet. It's very easy to use your feet or your hands, especially when you're measuring something that's maybe on the floor or on a table. I'm going to measure this tube now. So now I'm going to hold it, and I'm going to put my hand here, and that's 1. And I'm going to mark where my fingers end with my other hand. And I put my hand here. That's 2. 3. Well, maybe a little under 3, but we'll call it 3. So my estimate was 3, and my actual measurement was 3. I got it right. Lucky me. So now I'm going to go choose 2 more things to measure. You can choose, guys, a couch. You can choose a chair, a cereal box, a book, a stuffy. You can choose any of that stuff you want to measure, okay? But don't forget, you need to estimate first. That's the first thing you're going to do. You'll need a piece of paper and a pencil, or a marker or a crayon, and maybe some help from an adult, okay? 3 different columns. First one has your words, second one is your estimates, and the last one is your measurement, the actual measurement. Okay? All right, guys, good luck with the activity today.